What do you think the most comfortable shoes of 2019 are? Well, I made a list of the shoes that I think are the top 10 most comfortable sneakers of 2019. Let's find out what made the list. What's up, everybody? I'm Seth Fowler, and today I'm counting down the top 10 most comfortable sneakers of 2019. I know it's only 5 months through the year, but we had a lot of great sneakers that dropped at the beginning of this year and late last year that are extremely comfortable on foot. So I felt like now would be a great time to drop my picks for the most comfortable shoes of 2019 so far. Comfort is obviously subjective depending on what your footwear needs are. I personally base it off of what shoes I can wear all day long without feeling any kind of pain in my feet. And a lot of that has to do with the materials that a brand uses in a shoe and the actual fit on your foot. So because everyone's feet are different, the list and the order of the list is obviously going to be different for everyone, but I tried to pick shoes that are relevant in 2019 and shoes that you could actually walk into a store today and go buy. So without further ado, why don't we jump right into the list and find out what some of the most comfortable shoes of 2019 are. Number 10, the Adidas Yeezy Boost 700. At first glance, the 700 might not look like an obvious choice for one of the most comfortable sneakers of 2019, and that's mainly because of its oversized and bulky look. But with bulk comes padding, and the upper of this shoe is insanely well padded. You could wear the 700 all day and all night with no foot pains related to the upper of the shoe just because of how soft it is. The one downside to this upper though is that because of all the layering and all the padding, it can get hot over time. But it is a low top sneaker and we are going into summer, so you can wear this shoe with shorts, which should alleviate some of the overheating issues. In addition to the insanely well padded upper, you also have an almost full length Boost midsole. Boost is Adidas's proprietary cushioning technology that kind of looks like styrofoam but feels incredible underfoot. Boost cushioning is super soft and super bouncy, and in my opinion is a great addition to this shoe. One downside is that the Boost is almost entirely encased by this foam midsole except for these little holes on the bottom. Because of that, the Boost isn't allowed to expand as much under pressure like when you step on the shoe, so for that reason it's not as comfortable as some of the other Boost sneakers on the list. That being said though, when paired with this incredibly plush upper, you get a surprisingly comfortable and very stylish Yeezy sneaker. And some good news for prospective buyers out there, the Yeezy 700 is being made in much larger quantities and isn't as popular as it was last year, so it shouldn't be impossible to find a pair for retail or even under retail. Number 9, the Puma Liquid Cell. This Puma Liquid Cell is a brand new silhouette for 2019, and even though it was inspired by retro runners, there's not really anything retro about it other than aesthetics. The shoe features this liquid cell gel cushion in the heel, which even though it's comfortable, is not the most comfortable part of the shoe. That award goes to the upper of the shoe, which is well padded, but not too well padded, so you still get some nice breathability. Because of the height of the midsole, you are going to get like an extra half an inch of height, which if you're looking for that, great. If you're not looking for that, maybe steer clear of this shoe. The foam midsole on the forefoot of the shoe is much more firm than the liquid cell, but it actually adds some nice stability to balance out this crazy gel cushion in the heel. If you're a fan of retro-inspired styling, the Puma Liquid Cell has you covered. As you can tell, there's this crazy, almost lightning bolt looking shape on the heel, which was definitely derived from some 90s sneakers. As I'm sure you've noticed, you've got this crazy, almost lightning bolt looking shape on the heel, which was definitely inspired by some 90s runners. The Puma Liquid Cell is a pretty comfortable, everyday lifestyle sneaker, and if you're a fan of the styling, it's a good way to go. Number 8, the New Balance Fresh Foam Laser V2. New Balance makes a ton of comfortable sneakers, none of which you can really go wrong with, but the Fresh Foam Laser V2 is one of my favorite drops from them this year. The shoe has a full-length fresh foam midsole, which also has some laser etching in the heel, which should actually hide some of the inevitable midsole creasing over time. Fresh foam feels great underfoot, it's soft but not too soft to ever feel unstable. Not only that, but on the Fresh Foam Laser V2, some of the midsole actually wraps up over top of the heel to give you a little bit more heel containment. In addition, the shoe also features a soft and very light hypo-knit upper, which feels great on foot and is very breathable. Some of the downsides, at least for me, is that the ankle area isn't very stretchy, so it can be difficult to get your foot into the shoe, and because it's a one-piece constructed upper and there is no separate tongue, tightening the laces doesn't really do too much. But as long as you make sure you're grabbing the right size for you, the shoe is very light and feels great on foot. I also think that the Fresh Foam Laser V2 is a great looking sneaker, especially in this triple black colorway. Number 7, the Nike React Element 55. I unfortunately do not own a pair of the Nike React Element 55s at the moment, however I have done a review of the shoe and I've got to say, it's a very comfortable sneaker. As the name would suggest, the Nike React Element 55 features a full-length React midsole, which feels incredible underfoot. Some people actually prefer Nike React to Adidas Boost because even though it's very soft, it still has a slightly more stable ride than what Boost has. Even though the shoe has a relatively narrow base, because of the more stable React cushion, it never feels unstable. For those of you familiar with the Nike React Element series, the reason I picked the 55 over the 87, besides price point, is because the upper is actually a lot more comfortable comfortable on the 55 than it is on its more expensive brother. The fit of the Nike React Element 55 is actually true to size, which can't actually be said about the 87. And not only that, the materials that they used on the upper are actually softer and more flexible than those used on the 87. One of the best things about the Nike React Element 55s is just the pure amount of color options available. Even though the Element 55 first released late last year, we've still gotten dozens of colorways from Nike, and it looks like they're going to keep giving us more and more colorways as the months progress. The Nike React Element 55 is a clean, sporty looking lifestyle sneaker that's very comfortable on foot and comes in at a pretty reasonable price. Number 6, the Nike Air Force 1 Low. The triple white Air Force 1 Low, and for that matter all the colorways of the Air Force 1 Lows, have been one of the most popular sneakers available on the market for decades. The AF1 Low is one of Nike's most iconic sneakers that they've ever made and has been worn by athletes, rappers, and school children alike. It's arguable that the triple white Air Force 1 Low is one of the most classic sneakers ever made, and in my opinion, it rivals the Converse All-Star. The main draws to this sneaker are obviously the looks, the $90 price point, and the fact that it's also a very comfortable shoe. The AF1 Low might not look like much, but because of its extremely well padded upper and the surprisingly soft and comfortable midsole, this shoe is very easy to wear all day. Honestly, you can't go wrong with a fresh pair of Air Forces. It goes with pretty much anything that you'd want to wear, and like I said, it's very comfortable underfoot. Number 5, the Brooks Glycerin 17. The Glycerin line is widely considered by runners to be Brooks' most plush shoe available. And the Brooks Glycerin 17 is the latest iteration of that shoe and is probably one of the most comfortable running-specific sneakers on the market. You could technically wear this shoe for lifestyle wear, but in my opinion, I don't think anyone would really want to. That's just my opinion though. I don't like the way this shoe looks. The upper of the Glycerin 17 comes equipped with an incredibly plush ankle area and heel area, which feels great against your foot. It's also very breathable, which is a great thing when you're running. The main selling point of the Glycerin 17, however, is the full-length soft foam midsole. Although not as squishy as some of the other midsole cushions on the list, that's actually a good thing because when you're running, you don't want a midsole that's going to completely collapse under each stride. That being said, it is still an incredibly soft midsole, and when paired with the upper, it almost feels like you're running in or on clouds. It feels great. Some runners might find this midsole and upper a little bit too soft and would prefer something a little bit firmer or more minimal, but because this video is about the top 10 most comfortable shoes, this made the list over some other running sneakers. The Brooks Glycerin 17 is definitely not the most attractive shoe on the list, but if you're looking for a plush running sneaker, this is a great way to go. Number 4, the Nike Epic React 2. Now obviously, or I guess maybe not so obvious because they look so similar, this is the Nike Epic React 1 and not the 2. I've owned pairs of the Nike Epic React 2, and even though I think it's a great sneaker, it's almost identical to the original. So for the purposes of this video, the Nike Epic React will be fine. The Epic React features a thick, full-length React midsole which feels great underfoot. It's soft and bouncy underfoot without ever really feeling mushy, and because of this interesting textured pattern on the side of the midsole, you never really see any creases in the foam. In addition to that, the Epic React features a one-piece Flyknit upper. If you're not familiar with Flyknit, it's Nike's proprietary knit technology and fits your foot like a sock while still offering some nice support. One of my favorite things about Flyknit is how light and how breathable it is. Even though it's supporting your foot and keeping your foot from sliding around on the midsole, it still gives you a lot of air and never feels like there's really anything on the top of your foot. Aesthetically, I also really like the way the Epic React looks. It's a minimal, simple, and clean looking sneaker that never really looks too crazy or too out there. You can wear it on a run, you can wear it to the gym, and you can even wear it to work. It's a kind of do-everything shoe. And of course, being this high on the list, you can expect to be able to wear it all day and all night and maybe even into the next day without feeling any discomfort. As I mentioned, the Epic React 2 is Nike's latest version of the shoe, but because these shoes are almost identical, you can grab a pair of the original Epic Reacts on sale and still get the same performance that you would get from the 2s. If you're looking for a good all-around sneaker that can be worn for both exercising and for just lifestyle wear, the Epic React is a great way to go. Number 3, the Adidas Ultra Boost. For the last couple years, people have considered the original Adidas Ultra Boost to be one of the most comfortable sneakers ever made, and I have to agree. I think it's an incredibly comfortable sneaker, and in my opinion, it looks really good as well. The main draw of the sneaker, as the name would suggest, is the full-length Boost midsole. As you can probably tell by the color that the Boost turned, I've worn this pair a lot. In fact, this is actually my first pair of Ultra Boosts that I ever bought. And since owning this pair, I've owned probably 20 plus pairs, which just goes to show you how much I love the Adidas Ultra Boost. This is literally one of of my favorite shoes ever made. From 2015 till about the middle of last year, people really did consider this to be the most comfortable sneaker, but obviously since this shoe is ranked number 3 on the list, more comfortable shoes have come out since. The Ultra Boost was originally designed as a performance running sneaker, but it gained most of its popularity as a lifestyle shoe, and most of the popularity was due to the fact that Boost cushioning was so comfortable. I mean, honestly, it still is. This is still an excellent sneaker to buy. The one downside of Boost that I sort of alluded to with some of the other foams that I talked about in this video is that over time it can get a little bit mushy, and some runners don't like this shoe because of how soft it is and how unstable it can sometimes get. But if you're buying the shoe for just lifestyle wear, I think it can't really get much better than this. In my opinion, this is the ultimate combination of style and comfort. I really do think the Ultra Boost is one of the best looking running sneakers ever made. I really do. In addition to the cloud-like Boost midsole, you also got a very soft prime knit upper. Prime knit is very soft, very stretchy, and very breathable, and it does give you a somewhat sock-like fit. Not only that, but you've also got some really nice padding from the midfoot to the heel of the sneaker, which really cups your ankle nicely. The original Ultra Boost is a very comfortable sneaker, and it comes in a bunch of different colorways, so no matter what style you're going for, the Ultra Boost has you covered. If you're looking for the perfect balance of style and comfort, the original Ultra Boost is the way to go, and if I could put this shoe at the top of the list, I would. But this video is purely focused on comfort and not so much aesthetics, so that's why this shoe is at number 3 on the list. Number 2, the Nike Pegasus Turbo. This racing-inspired sneaker has a very aggressive look, but that's not the main selling point behind the shoe. The thing that makes the Pegasus Turbo such a great shoe is the dual-layered foam midsole. This midsole is literally made of 2 different foams stacked on top of each other and glued together. The top layer of foam that comes in this black to white gradient is Zoom X, and then the bottom layer that's actually labeled Zoom X is actually Nike React. Zoom X is actually the softest foam that Nike makes, and I'm pretty sure that it's actually one of the softest foams available on the market. The Zoom X provides you an incredibly plush ride and gives you great impact protection. And just below the Zoom X, you've got the Nike React layer, which gives you a lot more stability because it's a slightly stiffer foam. When these two foams are put together, you really do feel like you're getting the best of both worlds. You get the insanely soft cushion of Zoom X, and then you get the slightly more firm Nike React, which is still soft, but makes you feel like you're not going to slide around on the shoe. One downside that you may have already noticed is that this foam, because it's so soft, creases very easily. And annoyingly, it's so soft that it actually comes creased in the box when you first get it, and the more you wear it, the more creased it gets. So it's definitely not the prettiest midsole, but I think most people buying this shoe don't really care about that. The one thing they might care about though is this kind of weird sort of horn shape in the heel. It's a weird racing inspired touch, I get it, but for a lifestyle sneaker, it's not something that I really want sticking out of the back of my shoe. But for the amount of comfort that this foam midsole provides, I can live with it. The upper of the shoe is definitely more performance driven than lifestyle wear driven. It comes covered in a thin plastic mesh which is backed by a softer fabric, and you also get a flywire system in the midfoot which actually gives you a much truer one-to-one fit. The upper isn't as soft or as breathable as a knit, and for lifestyle wear it's just not as comfortable. It's not bad though. But it does provide you an excellent fit which is very important for running, and it gives you a lot of structure, which is a good thing. Personally, I'm not in love with the way that the Pegasus Turbo looks. I don't think it's a bad looking sneaker though, and the amount of comfort that you get from it and the support for running that you get from it definitely make this shoe worth it. Seriously, that foam setup is definitely worth checking out. Number 1, the Adidas Ultra Boost 19. Now I know we already had an Ultra Boost on the list, but the Ultra Boost 19 is such a drastic change when it comes to the overall makeup and construction of the shoe, I had to put it on the list. And obviously it's an improvement because it's number 1 on the list. It really seems like Adidas took every part of the Ultra Boost and upgraded it for performance. No, I don't think it looks anywhere close to as good as the original Ultra Boost, but comfort-wise, it's an impressive improvement. The first thing you'll notice is the Boost midsole, which actually has 20% more boost, which means it's thicker and softer. Not only that, but to combat the instability problems that people had with the original Ultra Boost, they actually brought down the heel counter onto the Boost midsole, so it really doesn't feel unstable at all. In addition to that, Adidas also completely redesigned the Prime Knit upper, making it now what's called Prime Knit 360. This Prime Knit is still stretchy, soft, and breathable, but now it features extra areas that actually support your foot and give you a better fit. It's more structured in the areas that you need it and softer in other areas, which is more comfortable. And another improvement that I wasn't a huge fan of at first because of the way that it looked, but now I'm a fan of because of how it feels, is the midfoot cage. Adidas removed the original midfoot cage in favor of this new thin and light mesh midfoot cage, which is a lot lighter and actually more breathable than the original. The entire shoe has been completely redesigned to be more comfortable for lifestyle wear and a much better performance running sneaker. And honestly, I gotta give Adidas props because I didn't think it could get much better than the original Ultra Boost. But they did it. They made the most comfortable shoe I've worn all year. I still don't love the way it looks though, but if your main goal is comfort, the Ultra Boost 19 is the way to go. I would love to know your thoughts on this list, so make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.